So I got out in 2012. I had just had my second son in February, and I got out in March. So it was a quick transition into civilian life. Kind of just buried everything like it didn't exist.
There are a lot of veterans that come home and do very well and go straight into leadership positions within the workforce. There are a significant number of veterans who come home and struggle.
A couple years later, I ended up finding myself in a divorce. The company I was working for was closing its doors, so I was finding a new job, and all of that just kind of came, all of it, anxiety, depression, panic attacks, all of those things just kind of came back. So I started traditional therapy for many years, and back on the medications and the sleep meds, and I did that for a couple years, and then my therapist asked me if I ever heard of TRYBE Ecotherapy, and I said no. I have not. And she's like, you want to give it a try? And I'm like, well, I've tried everything else up to this point. Like, why not?
Our focus is working with nature, integrating nature into understanding and bringing more wellness into the human condition.
We're doing all this stuff in the woods amongst other people who are going through the same thing we're going through. And so you really get that sense of not being alone. You're not the only one.
We're seeing veterans who, after a series of 3, 4, 5 months of working with us, no longer have to be on the slew of medication that they've been on for years. Veterans who have been seeing a traditional therapist for 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10 years, who have come to us and said, this is the first program I've ever been involved in where I actually feel like it's effective for me.
With Lindsay's help and my doctor's help, I transitioned off everything. So no medication anymore for me.
In the short term, we are seeing as much as a 70% reduction in PTSD symptoms for veterans who graduate from the program. We are seeing veterans being retained in the program, sticking around, and now we want to expand it.
I think the biggest thing that TRYBE has done for me is given me purpose, because I didn't have it before. But being able to come out here every week and walk alongside other veterans who are struggling with the same thing I was struggling with, I guess when I go to bed at night, my heart's full, because I have that purpose again, which I didn't have for many years.